The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Godzilla versus Kong. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Salty Nerd Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the brand new movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, available in theaters and also HBO Max, which is like totally bonkers because we just watched it and now we can watch it at home. It feels like we're cheating.
I'm a little bit annoyed because I had to watch it at home.
You should have went to the theaters.
I asked you to come with us.
I couldn't do it. Just life is not cooperating with me right now.
Oh, God, it was so much fun. Okay. I'm joined as always by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader 74. What's up, dude? You're a little low key. You need a little extra shot?
No, dude, I can't. I can't get too twisted up today. Real life is
Shout out to Frey Ranch. Support us. We're local, Las Vegas.
yeah, but they're way up north.
That's okay.
They're like Reno, dude.
Oh, you think there's another podcast that deserves their attention more?
I'm also joined by Jude. Welcome.
Hello.
And last but not least, Matthew Cage.
Is that how advertising
Hi,
works?
everybody. How you doing? Really looking forward to this because I enjoyed this movie.
This movie was bananas, and that is
think we
not
all
a
did.
joke about the ape. All right, guys, before we dive into this movie, we're going to take a break to listen to some sponsors. Welcome back. Hey, if you'd like to support the podcast, go to saltynerdclub.com, join our Patreon team. There you can get access to all kinds of really cool stuff. We got extra material, behind-the-scenes photos, exclusive podcasts, blooper reels, which are freaking worth the money. Extra $3. You join our $3 tier, you get access to our blooper reels. We have some of our funniest stuff there. Things that don't make the cut for the official podcast.
Most of my stuff.
Most of your offensive stuff, yeah.
Which is most of my stuff.
And Jude's sex jokes. And
How
Yeah.
dare you?
Everything I say makes it onto the podcast. I'm the boring one.
you say nothing controversial.
Because he's too busy over there pushing buttons.
Yeah, he's too busy pushing buttons. That's good. He's found his that he belongs right
He
there.
does.
He's perfect for
We
that
like
job.
him right there.
All right, saltynerdclub.com.
Quiet, barefoot in the kitchen.
Push your buttons.
Push
man.
buttons. All right, guys. Did we do the break? You have did the break already. Okay, let's dive into this.
Yeah.
Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
Okay.
Godzilla versus
It's
Kong.
yeah, I mean that's kind of self-explanatory.
So I just went and saw the movie last night, so I didn't have time to write anything.
Okay.
But I have the IMDb pulled up. So
All right, go ahead.
Godzilla vs. Kong had a budget of $200 million. And I'm not going to make you guess because it's still in the theaters, but so far it has made back its budget, $285.8 million so far at the box.
The
How
the
is that
highest
possible?
grossing post-corona movie
I'm
in
sure.
theaters.
Yeah.
Dude, I have to say I was so happy to see the theater packed.
Was it packed?
Yeah.
Really? It
Yeah, the
was?
parking lot was full.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but our theater wasn't. Ironically,
Do you think
enough.
they're padding the seats?
Well, I think that they can only sell like a certain amount.
Yeah.
Like 50% or something?
Something like that. But I mean, like in our row, like I think we were the only two people in our row or something.
No,
like
it
that.
wasn't that bad. There was other
but
people.
I mean, like there was no one even in our vicinity.
Yeah.
Like
we had space all the way around us, which is fine if that's how they want to do it. But like when I walked in, the parking lot was full, and I know that the Godzilla movie, the showing was.
There were a lot of people at the theater, but in our specific screening, there wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Either way, theaters are back.
so 2021, Godzilla vs. Kong, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour 53 minutes. So this is the IMDb synopsis. Legends collide as Godzilla and Kong, the two most powerful forces of nature, clash on the big screen in a spectacular battle for the ages. As a squadron embarks on a perilous mission into fantastic, uncharted terrain, unearthing clues to the Titan's very origins and mankind's survival, a conspiracy threatens to wipe the creatures, both good and bad, from the face of the earth. So I don't know if I liked this as much as you guys did. I liked it, but I thought that the story was ridiculous and very convoluted.
I want to try to do my imitation of a Jude recap before we go
Okay.
any further.
Oh,
Yeah. So Eric Northman watches a giant ape and a lizard fight one another while Millie Bobby Brown and the guy from Friday Night Lights do nothing. The end.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good synopsis. And I
Accurate.
kept thinking that the bad guy in this one was just like a recast version of Tywin Lannister.
No,
And
he's a completely different character.
yeah, I get that now, but I was just like, who's this guy the
Oh, it
whole
would've been-
time?
He's Elon Musk.
Okay.
Mexican Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
and I was like, that's a weird recast because like he's clearly Mexican and now he's got this daughter, but like at the end of the last movie, Tywin Lannister gets the skull, and like that's a big part in this movie. And I was like, okay, well if that's not a recast Tywin Lannister, how did he get the skull? There was a lot to be desired.
Okay, so this movie is horribly written.
yes,
God, is it so much fun?
it's so much fun.
It is a terribly written movie. And you know what's funny is that, so like the main bad guy, who's this billionaire tech industrialist
Apex.
dude. I wish I could remember his actual name, but the entire time I was watching the movie, and whenever he was on screen, I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. And it was so weird to see him as like this like tech billionaire, like, you know, like super smart, super smarmy industrialist guy. And I was like, oh yeah, Demian Bichir.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't have the
Beach.
Beach.
I don't have the Latin flair to
Over
my
the
voice. But Demian Bichir. So like I kept racking my brain. I was like, where do I know this guy from? He's the dirty Mexican bandito from The Hateful Eight.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, he's kind of like the stupid like Mexican guy who like pretends to run the
Yeah,
little-
he's the dude
right.
who helps them get the horses into the stable,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you.
and so like the entire time in the back of my head as he's like performing in this movie, I keep thinking of that character, and it was just so weird.
Oh, I didn't even
for me.
notice that.
Yeah.
Vader, you saw this movie at home.
I did.
What did you think?
Twice.
Twice? You watched it twice?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
watched
good for
it
you.
twice?
I
Awesome.
did.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love this movie. It's so ridiculously fun. It's insane.
So ridiculous.
I think we all
Yeah.
love this movie.
Yeah.
So this is
I
gonna
really
be, this is
enjoyed
going to be a
it.
real short video.
yeah, you know, that's okay. That's
we
okay.
liked it. 2 thumbs up. Bye.
See you later. But I just I'm not going to ignore the glaring plot holes and overly convenient
Don't
scientific stuff. It just
Don't
like,
care.
I know you don't, but we have to address it, right? Otherwise, we're not being
Why
level-headed.
do we?
Because
So we can appease the people out there who are script snobs and
yeah, exactly. So we can be like,
You
look,
mean,
guys.
you mean
Don't
people
give a
who
shit.
actually care about storytelling?
if you're going into this thing caring about
But here's the thing,
scripts
though,
and
like
plot points, then I don't care about your opinion.
this movie goes so off the rails with
It
what it
does.
has set up in the last 3 movies.
Mhm.
Like in the last 3 movies,
Yeah,
the tech,
this
Does
movie
it?
goes full sci-fi.
yeah,
Yeah.
the technology in the last 3 movies have been pretty on par. A few sci-fi elements to it, but
We go
overall,
from a 50-year gap between the Vietnam War to now, and there's all these super science fiction science bases
yeah,
with
Tunnel-
tunnels,
yeah.
tunnels down into the middle of the ocean
and they've got
and giant
Monarch
500,
spaceships
500 feet wide.
that can withstand the
They're-
pressure of Middle Earth.
they're putting-
They've got a magnetized tunnel that goes from America to
Yeah.
Hong Kong,
Yeah.
or Singapore, or something like that.
yeah,
Within the span of a day.
yeah.
I don't have any
mean,
issue
think
with it.
about that.
It's amazing.
It's a super train.
But this is exactly what Elon Musk is working on
Yeah,
with his like tunnel stuff.
I
yeah.
say, oh,
You just need a permit to dig a hole.
You know, it's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah,
I
that's all.
That's what I said. I said, oh, they made Elon Musk.
You watched that podcast too? That's awesome.
Yeah, just need a permit.
You just need a permit. You could dig a hole from here to Hong Kong, no
Yeah,
problem.
it doesn't matter if that hole turns out to be a subway. You just need a permit
This is
to dig
just
a hole.
this
Yeah.
is just the tube technology that. Musk
No,
is
I get
making.
it. I get it. I'm just saying, like,
There's nothing new there.
the leap from normal technology that's like more or less based in reality to the full sci-fi, zero explanation.
Well, how many movies did you want to make until we got there?
No, I'm not saying that. Like, honestly, if they were to just keep things in like normal non-sci-fi territory, I would have been okay with it.
But I mean, there are certain things, like for instance, so Eric Northman's character, I forget his name.
Scar-
No, you're right.
It's Nathan Lind. Okay, so Professor Lind.
Oh.
His whole thing was that he's this disgraced kind of like university professor because he wrote a book on the theory of the Hollow Earth. But in the previous Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters, the Hollow Earth theory was proven because Bradley Whitford and all those guys went in that submarine and went through like
Those were the
vortex.
only guys that
But
knew
that was in Monarch. That wasn't what's being taught out in the universities.
Yeah, but
Classified
I
information.
mean, like,
It's classified.
like the Hollow Earth theory has been kind of perpetuated since the 70s because they mention it in Kong
I
Skull
mean,
Island as
how
well.
many of us went, I knew it, when they finally admitted that there's aliens?
Well, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a lot of little things like that in this movie where you just kind of like question, like why did they choose to do it this way? But again, like these are things that they're stupid, but you kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
They just threw in a bunch of extra stuff.
Like for instance, in the Hollow Earth, like they literally go to the center of the earth to find that habitat,
And their sun.
and it takes like 2 minutes for them to like get back to the surface of like a journey of 5,000 miles. Like how big is the circumference of the earth or the diameter of the earth?
well, they were
times-
falling for some of that at light speed, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing too. Like this whole freaking center of the earth thing
Quit.
was
Stop.
bananas.
Don't think about it.
Shut up for a second.
They needed a special
matter.
spaceship to get there, but Kong was just like, I'm gonna go in.
Because he's genetically predisposed to be able to handle it.
Yeah, genetically predisposed to handle gravity.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Doesn't matter.
He falls into the wormhole.
don't
Like
care.
to get there, they have to go through a wormhole, but to get out,
There's nothing that says
Godzilla just drills a hole with his atomic breath
Yeah.
that is big enough for Godzilla to come out of.
I'm not saying it's not stupid.
It's so stupid.
It is dumb, but who cares?
I don't.
So stop.
Well, we have to talk about it.
We haven't even talked about, before we get there, we have
Yeah.
to talk about the fact that Godzilla was tracking the other Titan across the ocean, but then when they just shut off all the boats,
He's good.
we're good.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
But that fight was so cool.
It was awesome.
Like Godzilla comes out of the water, looks at the boats that are just chilling there. Kong's on one of them, and he's just like,
Yeah, whatever.
he's like, all right, peace
I
out.
think they're okay.
I got you this time.
That was a
And
really
Kong's giving him that side eye.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And another thing was like the Ghidorah skull that they had like hooked up to Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh, like it communicated telepathically between like the three different heads, and that's how they understood one another.
Through the bones, apparently.
Yeah, apparently the bones, not the brain, is the thing that has the telepathic ability to resonate.
Them
stuff.
bones.
Wouldn't it have been so much better if they had just like a giant brain sitting in a
Yes.
tube?
Yes,
It would have
that
made
would've been
more
awesome.
sense.
That would have been
that would have been
badass.
cool.
But
But
instead
no, they have this freaking DJ stand where he's got to like.
Oh my
all these-
God, he totally looked like a DJ.
did. With his
I kept
freaking
calling him DJ Dead Dragon.
his
DJ Electric Dragon.
neon tubes and all that stuff got there.
I kind of took it more as like he was plugging in like they do in
Like an Oculus Rift.
a big giant robot movie,
Oh, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, where
Yeah.
the pilots kind of jack in and they meld with each other.
Well,
Because he was kind of like getting in touch with his inner Ghidorah skull.
Did you guys know that that's the son of the character that you really like from the other two movies?
oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex knew something you didn't.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
well,
cool.
yeah.
I
Yeah, the
don't
three
like the
movies.
fact that they made him evil.
I know, that's weird. I guess
Well,
he's
they-
really
they-
pissed off at Godzilla.
They made him evil. Why is he evil? Just because he's the pilot?
He just wants to be a DJ.
So they want to be like, we want humans to be the apex predator on planet
Yeah,
Earth.
his dad
So-
would have
so what
instilled some morals in him about like how to treat these creatures.
Apparently, because the last name of that character
I
is the
guess
same.
I'm just. I have an inner super villain in me, I guess, because I have no problem with them building
Mechagodzilla. Well, they have to even.
Well, you know what was
Even
funny?
the scales a
So,
little
so
bit.
do you remember when we were in the theater together watching this movie? The movie basically opens with Godzilla kind of attacking this tech company,
in Florida, right?
And-
Just Apex.
and everyone's like, "Why would he do this?" And obviously, like he did it because he sensed a threat. And I turned to Alex and I was like, "It's Mechagodzilla," and they did such a good job of like.
And Alex
not-
was like, "You're talking too much during this movie."
Yeah, he was.
Shut up!
Yeah.
Shut up!
Shut up! Quit it! Quit it!
I'm a non-talker. You put me in a movie theater.
But
I'm very lucky I did not go see this with you.
yeah, but basically they, they did such a good job of like not letting details of this movie leak. Like I walked in, like I did not know anything about the plot. You know, like I kept myself, quarantined from information about this. And when I came to that realization, I was like, we're going to get Mechagodzilla. I was so excited.
Yeah.
And every time like it became obvious that was going to, I turned to him and I was like, Mechagodzilla.
And you're like elbowing him, bro.
He's like, bro, Mechagodzilla.
Now it's just like,
I'm just like, I know.
You're ruining it.
I'm like, if you watched the trailer in 1/4 speed, you would have seen Mechagodzilla already. It's nonsense. No, okay, so the plot of this movie is bananas. They go to the center of the earth.
It really is.
It's so crazy.
Middle Earth. I kept calling it.
Yeah, Middle Earth.
There's no hobbits there.
it's
I don't know.
technically
They didn't
called,
spend enough time there. Maybe there were.
it's technically called Hollow Earth,
Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Middle Earth. That's cool.
It's the middle point between
listen,
Hong Kong and
so that-
San Francisco.
It's Hollow Earth, and it's fucking real. Okay?
How did they get sunlight down there? Okay, so the Hollow Earth thing, to me, nonsensical. Because they
so stupid.
They go into this tunnel, and I guess King Kong is like the only way they know how to get into the center of the
they
earth.
need King
him
Kong to
to-
show them the way.
Because he anciently knows it.
No. So like they know how to get to the Hollow Earth because Eric Northman's brother led a failed expedition there and they died.
He got smashed. And am I weird? I kind of wanted to see the smashed
All the wreckage.
remains of Eric Northman's brother and him be like,
So I can finish. So like basically they know how to get to the Hollow Earth, but they don't know how to get to the energy source.
Okay.
And so like the impetus for bringing Kong to the Hollow Earth, is that he naturally knows where the energy source is located. So like they're just going to follow him once they get there.
Yeah, so they have these magical bullshit devices that they can fly in with, which are apparently
that's
anti-gravity.
the technical term.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of magical bullshit devices in this movie.
Yes,
What
there
is your
are.
issue with the magical bullshit device?
There is no issue. I'm just anti-gravity. Where'd they get anti-gravity from?
Science, man. Who cares?
Yeah, science.
Follow the science.
That's the power of math. People.
That's the power
Where
of
do
math.
they get an aircraft carrier size single wing plane to fly around?
That's less of a stretch than anti-gravity
Is it?
bullshit devices. Yes, it is. So they go through the wormhole, which, as Jude pointed out,
We're talking about cars that go to the center of the earth.
as Jude pointed out, Kong was just like, I'm going for it. Just jumps in.
He goes like this.
I regret nothing.
So they follow him into the wormhole.
I'm gonna meet my new mom and dad.
They go down there, immediately get attacked by flying, creepy monster things, which is
Yeah.
cool. I dug it. Kong eats the skull.
Oh, that was gross.
So badass.
I loved it.
Like a crawdad. He's
Yeah.
just like,
Suck that head.
that creature gave good head.
They say I take everything to a sex place.
God damn it. Okay, so Kong eventually ends up. I did like the scene where like there was literally like a hand-shaped mountain, and Kong jumps off of it and like lands on the opposite side.
That was so cool.
It was dope. It was really cool.
Yeah, gravity inversion.
Yeah. So he ends up at this massive castle thing, I guess, that I don't know who built.
Kong Castle.
Yeah, Kong
Yes.
Castle.
It was the Kong
It's
throne
Kong-
room.
Yeah.
It's the Kong family living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like a sculpted Kong statue in there
Mm-hmm.
in the background.
And his axe.
I mean, I will admit that my brain went into like a little weird place there. I was like, who built these things? Are there humanoids running around in the Middle Earth jungle, or
maybe
what?
at one point in
You know?
time there were.
Are they still there?
No.
It's a big place.
My theory was that the people who built the ancient Godzilla city started off there and somehow made their way through the gravity.
They army crawled through the wormhole.
Is this where Atlanteans come from?
Ooh.
Maybe, but you know what was weird is so like that temple was obviously for the Kong race, right?
Uh-huh.
Where they had like the throne, they had the axe, and yet when he starts powering up the axe, there's like this
Silhouette of-
symbol in the ground that lights up, and it's obviously Godzilla. And so like there's some type of connection between Godzilla and the primordial energy.
Well, you know what the
that's
axe
there.
is, right?
Because Godzilla is not the enemy.
The axe,
The axe is one of his spines.
Yeah, is a spine from Godzilla.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you didn't get that from the movie?
No, how are we supposed to know that?
Well,
that.
because
How did you get that?
Okay, so when Kong puts the axe back in its spot and it like energizes the whole ring and you see the outline of Godzilla, each one of those axes is a spine of Godzilla. It's shaped the same way that his spines are.
Neat.
Yeah. So they're using a piece of Godzilla.
And that's
and
why,
I'm not sure if it's
and that's why he can use the axe to deflect
the atomic
his
breath.
atomic breath and stuff, because it's part of what Godzilla is.
So they're almost meant to be a team.
Yeah.
They're synergy.
They
They're
did-
synergy.
They did the buddy cop thing.
Yeah, they did the buddy cop thing. There's going to be a buddy cop Godzilla and Kong movie coming someday, and I'm
Kong
here
cop.
for it. Kong.
I mean, I really found it funny when
Jude just nerded out.
Kong cop.
Go ahead.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Godzilla is good cop and Kong is Kong cop.
I don't like you.
Somebody write this right now.
Oh my god. What
I
were
will
you saying, V?
Take
I don't
my
know.
money.
I don't know.
You don't remember? Okay. So in order to get out of it, okay, there's one thing I really did think was like ingeniously creepy. Is those little bat things that came flying down when they landed and they were like featherless chickens. Those things were freaking scary.
Yeah, anything that doesn't have like fur or feathers
Just like
freaks me out.
It's
Oh,
weird.
bald
Yeah.
head with a little sharp beak and it was like, rah, like
Yeah.
chasing the people. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, super creepy. But anyway, Godzilla then at some point in time drills a hole directly where they are
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they climb out.
Why?
It doesn't.
Yeah. So
No, he's in-
Godzilla's in Singapore. He hits the ground. 2 seconds later, it gets into the cavern at the center of the earth, and then
Mhm.
Kong just like climbs right up.
Yeah,
Right
no
up to
problem.
Singapore.
No more
But-
wormhole.
but let's stop talking about the stupid shit, and let's talk about the three big fights
Okay.
in this movie. So the first fight is on the ocean, on an
Yes.
aircraft carrier. Kong versus Godzilla. One of the weird things about this movie is that, so when we talked about the other legendary monster movies, we talked about how they kind of recast Godzilla as the hero of these movies. And so he would go out, he would bring balance to nature by getting rid of these destructive titans.
Mhm.
But at the beginning of this movie, it appears that he's like wiped out all the possible titan threats except
That's-
for Kong. And that's why they're sheltering Kong in this thing. And they also didn't do a very good job of explaining why Skull Island is
It's now
way
the
it
Truman
is.
Show.
Yeah.
Super weird.
I
They're
hated
sheltering Kong on the island that Godzilla doesn't go to
Yeah.
from Godzilla in a enclosure
dome.
on the island.
yeah.
Yeah.
They needed to make that thing
It
taller.
makes no sense.
No. And again, the technology leap
Yeah.
going from the last movie to this one. It's like when did
I-
they get holographic
How
technology?
did they
Again-
manage to
again, I
build
don't
it
care.
without Kong freaking out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that too.
apparently the storm that surrounded Skull Island and Kong Skull Island moved inland and basically overtook the island, and so now there's a permanent storm above the island that wiped out all the natives, and Monarch built this like dome to kind of shield Kong from the elements.
And the one remaining survivor.
I thought we were not talking about the dumb shit anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, the remaining survivor. Oh, can I talk about her?
Yes.
I freaking love her character.
Yeah.
I think it's super awesome. Like,
The
When-
little deaf girl.
yeah, the little deaf girl. I don't remember her
the,
name.
the
But
actress is actually deaf in real life.
is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Not like, I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh man, I love deaf people.
No, but I'm just saying
I
it's
love
cool.
people who can't hear.
It's cool. It's cool that she's.
I love short people. There was no dwarves.
It's
in this
okay. She
movie.
won't know you said that.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so offensive. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I love the way that they used her disability in this movie to further the plot and to kind of give her like something special that was above and beyond everybody else. Like
Yeah.
the way she could communicate with Kong, but again with the way that she kind of like was like she would be able to feel the vibrations for when Zilla was going to show up, and she was
Yeah.
kind of like she could feel the heartbeat and all that stuff. Loved when the sound.
I also like how they bothered to actually explain her relationship to the female scientist,
Yeah.
where it's like
yeah.
she's obviously like a native girl, and but she's also this woman's daughter, and so you're like, what's going on there? And then they actually tell you like, oh, okay, her parents died.
Yeah. She's
This
basically
woman
an
adopted
orphan.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just love it when the movie like dropped the sound down and all you got with those like real deep vibrations. I was like, oh, shit's about to go down.
And when they first introduced her, like I hate when movies or TV shows just introduce handicapped people for no reason other than to have them in there. I was like, there better be a reason for her to be in there.
She's very important.
Yeah,
to this
yeah.
movie.
So they actually gave her a reason for being in the movie, which I was very grateful for. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about this first fight on the start?
Well,
or
This
Star
is my
Destroyer?
favorite fight.
Well, yeah. So basically, in order to get Kong, to lead them to the thing, they have to like transport him over the ocean. And they're trying to avoid lanes where Godzilla is because apparently Godzilla has just been killing Titans left and right. So he's like kind of an antagonist now. He's kind of a bad guy.
Mhm.
And so somehow Kong senses that, or Godzilla senses that Kong is being ferried somewhere. And he shows up with this naval fleet that's kind of, bringing Kong to wherever it is they're going. And they have their first confrontation, and Kong's all locked up in chains, and Godzilla's on their way, and people are acting very stupid when they know that this giant lizard is coming for them.
I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Then, like, as soon as this fight's over, they're like, maybe we should fly him. Why didn't you just start with that?
And how did they get from where they were in the ocean to a place where they could get a bunch of helicopters and a giant net?
I assume those helicopters came to them, or they probably were transporting the helicopters on one of them boats anyway.
I was more wondering how they got him on the boat to begin with, and then onto the net,
Yeah.
because they just skipped
Just
entirely
smash,
over all
smash
that stuff.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that thing that Cage
like-
was talking about, like when you knock a character out and then you just cut to a new scene
Yeah.
where they're in
Thank
different
God
locations.
you're all right. That was quite a fight, wasn't it?
That was Kong in this freaking movie.
Yeah, but
Well,
this
you know,
this
whatever.
monster fight between Godzilla and Kong, this is my favorite fight. of
In the
movie.
water, really?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
cool.
loved it. Like seeing him like jump from one boat to the next, and like the boat just is fucking done. Oh, it's cool. And then he's like underwater, and like I was like this in my chair.
Yeah. The one part where Godzilla or Kong punches Godzilla in the freaking face for the first time, and you see Godzilla reel back from the impact.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah. And like the advantage, I mean, obviously goes to Godzilla because he's fine in the water and King Kong isn't. And that like gives you that sense of urgency. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, get him out of the water.
Yeah, and when the boat that he was originally on like capsizes
Yeah.
because Godzilla hits it, and then it like turns back around, and everyone on board's just like, oh.
Yeah, what I love about this scene was the camera work, because they did some really creative things with like when like I think it was Kong got hit and he fell, the camera like flipped upside down, and then when it came back on level, you see Godzilla just standing there like a freaking badass. I'm like, the camera work was like way over the top, but it was so much fun.
It was so much
So
fun.
much fun.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next fight scene that we get up to? Because obviously a series
Middle
of
Earth.
events. We talked about Middle Earth, where he fights a handful of things down in the ground, which is
Hong Kong.
it was more of like a means to an end.
Well, let's talk about Mechagodzilla.
We're getting there. So Millie Bobby, the podcast dude, the conspiracy podcast
Yeah, we got
guy,
to talk about him.
The what?
the conspiracy podcast guy.
Oh, there was a little side plot with people, right?
There's people in this movie.
Don't care.
Yeah, this guy is
That was totally throwaway.
on a podcast talking about very specific things that
And
he's
he's
doing
got
for
a
this
bigger audience than
company.
we do.
Yeah.
So.
But nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, nobody at the company
He's
cares. apparently.
anonymous, but he's like, I'm going into this company today. The company's name is this. I'm going to be on level this, and I'm going to do this. They're never going to catch me because
Yeah.
I haven't given you my name.
It's completely ridiculous.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
do love his
And
character.
like Millie Bobby Brown just shows up at his house.
Like, oh,
Yeah, a 16-year-old girl
Hi,
can track
we
him down.
talk? You might not know me, but and he's like, I know who your mother was because I know all the conspiracies.
awesome.
Silly.
I love it. I love it.
There was literally no reason to have
Anybody?
Yeah.
those people in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How about when we got to see Coach Taylor and then nothing
Oh,
else happened?
He was in this movie for 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
What about Lance Reddick? Like he gets like his name in like the top tier of the credits. He's in it for like one scene.
Who's he?
Aw.
He's the guy from The Wire. He's the black guy who
Oh, okay.
who basically he's with Friday
He like
Night Lights.
says one thing and then nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like one line in this movie, and he's like a big
Take us
actor.
to 5 knots or something, and then that's it.
If this doesn't work, you're going to be sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, really? Because if it doesn't work, we're all going to be dead.
I wonder
Yeah.
what's going on with Skarsgård, because he's making classics like Battleship, and now he's making these kind of movies.
I don't know.
It's all about the paycheck.
All right. So the next big fight scene, which is what we're watching these movies for anyway, is in Hong Kong after they get out of the Middle Earth and they come up and
It's
Yeah.
the true Godzilla versus Kong scene.
this was the fight scene that we all went and saw the movie for.
Man.
And oh my gosh,
Hong
dude,
Kong.
the neon city.
Yeah.
And they're like, and Godzilla or Kong is like parkouring over the buildings.
And he's got that axe.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he cheated a little bit with the axe, but whatever. It's beside the point.
I want to know how he just knew how to use the axe.
Well, he's a monkey. He's an ape.
You couldn't use an axe that good.
I
You're
could
a
hit
human.
you in the
Haven't you
head
ever
with an
seen
axe.
2001 where the apes figure out how to use bones as tools?
Anciently, he knew how because
Then
of ancient.
It's in his genetic makeup.
He's just a badass.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm all right with that.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But there was a very clear winner to this
Oh
fight.
my
oh,
gosh.
Godzilla owned his ass.
This is my
It was great.
I loved it. He freaking beat the hell out of him and then stepped on him and it was like, stay down, bitch.
That's right.
And
he
Kong just died. Just like, I'm done.
It's like everybody out there that went hashtag Team Godzilla, we win.
Yes, we did.
That was it.
I love it.
Yeah.
But the ironic thing is in the third big battle where it's basically Kong and Godzilla have to
Yeah.
team up to fight Mechagodzilla. Godzilla was getting his ass
Oh,
handed to
yeah.
him before Kong showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was rough. He was bleeding and
Well, he
everything.
was already, he was.
He's tired.
It was like in the WWE when they cash in the Money in the Bank suitcase, because the champions already had the shit kicked out of them.
But the fight between Godzilla and Kong was freaking phenomenal.
Epic.
It was
Yeah.
it was very epic. I love that. Like, so remember when we were doing our top sports movies and you were talking about Warrior?
Yeah.
And I wish that this had been a little bit more Warrior than Batman v Superman, because like I feel like if Godzilla had been a bit more sympathetic in here, like I would have felt more conflicted in that final battle. But I was very much rooting for Kong. And in that final shot where like they're just screaming in each other's faces, and then like Kong just like freaking.
But you know what's
passes
weird
out.
is this is a Kong movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the main
Yeah.
character for sure.
Godzilla's the second lead in this.
Mhm.
This is a King Kong.
well,
movie.
Godzilla's the antagonist in this
Yeah,
movie.
it's kind of off. It's weird, but yeah, I don't know.
But that fight between the two of them was very well done. It was very good. It was very exciting. Kong at night was fantastic. And then when they start fighting Mechagodzilla, so Skarsgård basically uses his little anti-gravity car to give King Kong
Shot of adrenaline.
His DeLorean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he uses it as a refibrillator where he like shocks Kong's heart to get it beating again. And Kong gets up and he like, pumps his shoulder into a building to put it back into its socket.
I know, that was cool.
That's like Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
He's like, ah.
And then he just like flexes and he's like, okay, let's
I'm
do this. And of course the little deaf girl says that like, Godzilla's a friend, and she like points to Godzilla.
And he's all
getting his
pissed
ass
off
handed
about
to
it. He's
Uh-huh.
like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
him, And then Kong decides to go and help Godzilla, and they fight Mechagodzilla together, and that was just so cool.
Oh, gosh.
Loved it.
Dude, nerd brain went.
I kept waiting for King Kong to be like, I'm not listening to this little girl anymore.
Like, this bitch just keeps getting me in trouble.
Get me into trouble. And I woke up on a boat.
No, but I did like if you look at it on like just a complete, like if you look at the fight card, right? You got Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla has the upper hand because he has all the same powers as Godzilla, but he also has a few extras and he's a little bit more agile. Godzilla's
He
kind of
doesn't feel pain.
He doesn't feel faint. And Godzilla's kind of a slow mover. And the reason why King Kong was able to beat Mechagodzilla was because he was more spry and he was faster and
Opposed
more
to
agile.
Well, it took both of them to take out.
It did take both of them, but I'm saying like he tipped the balance
Well, yeah.
faster because he had the weapon. He was able
Dude,
to.
you need to watch professional wrestling more.
Is that what this was for you?
That's exactly what it was.
I dig it.
But I did like how once they got like the energy signature from the Hollow Earth,
Oh God.
basically Ghidorah's head turned evil.
So
and Mechagodzilla became sentient and evil at the same time, and basically they couldn't control him anymore.
there was two things about this. So one, like they got this core sample that they needed for the energy, but then they just like faxed the email or they faxed it over to the main Mechagodzilla
from the center of the earth.
From the center of the earth.
They Rogue One it. Just beam it up, man.
Like, but I thought they needed the energy. I thought they needed the core.
They needed the energy signature.
Just send a Raven.
And then the second thing, so was Ghidorah's like brain or genetic memory manipulating Mechagodzilla? Yeah. That's who that was? Because
that's
like,
what I understood.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it.
It was just a skull.
I know.
It was Ghidorah.
Second of all, that was my only point.
What was your only point?
That it was just a skull. There's no brain.
Yeah, so the skull itself has to be telepathic and sentient.
Yeah.
In order for that to make any sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
But you know what? Ghidorah is an alien, so like who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that
alien bones.
That explains.
That's
Crazy.
that's what I took away from it. Is like Ghidorah was the one who was controlling Mechagodzilla after the certain point. After they got this energy.
In which case, all you needed to do to stop Mechagodzilla was destroy the skull. And there was a scene in this that I kind of liked where like Millie Bobby Brown's like fat friend is like trying to hack the system, and he's like, I can barely make GIFs on my computer. Like, I don't know how to do this.
I hated that character.
I hated that character too.
There was no reason for him.
No, zero.
No, there wasn't any reason. But like, there's always that scene where like the young hacker like breaks into the supercomputer and like he fixes whatever. I like the fact that like like at the end of the day they just poured alcohol on the computer to short it out.
I liked
they couldn't hack into it.
I liked how after they tried to do the password a handful of times, it just says like account locked, and he's like, ah.
I just that little side group of characters with their little side adventure.
Pointless.
There was 0 point to that. Other than that, we need some way to put Millie Bobby Brown in this movie, and that was it.
And how did Millie Bobby Brown find her dad in like?
She just went like this, Dad. Okay.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, after all that destruction and all those people, like
to
they're just
be
like,
fair,
oh, hey, there you are.
Probably most of the other people were dead, and there was just like a handful of people that were alive.
There's millions of people that live in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They're all
did you see what happened to Hong Kong?
How many people did our hero monsters kill in this?
Millions.
Oh my God,
millions.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Go team.
Yeah.
Kill millions of people.
Yeah. But I will say this, out of all 4 legendary monster movies, I feel like the fights in this one were the best. I
really liked the fights in this one.
I liked how they never, like we talked about with King of the Monsters, where everything was kind of muddied a little bit with smoke or rain or whatever. This
volcano fumes,
volcano birds and stuff. Yeah, this one was very clear. It was wide shots. Let's watch the fight.
I think that was very specific because, like, originally, because this movie got pushed back a number of times. I think that they had heard the criticisms for King of the Monsters and King of the Monsters underperformance, so they had learned from that. Mm-hmm. And so for this one, they very specifically wanted you to be able to see stuff. And they put it out in a window that wasn't overcrowded with like, summer blockbusters and stuff like that. And so they really kind of upped their game on this one.
Yeah. As far as the fight scenes go. Okay. So in instead of final thoughts, let's do something a little different. We're all on board with like continuing the monster universe that they've set up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. So Jude, what would you like to see moving forward? What are the things that you want them to leave behind? And what are the things that you want them to make better and move forward?
I would like less humans, unless we're going to do something where it's like back in caveman time. And I don't have to like be invested in some ridiculous storyline where the humans are getting into trouble. It's just like caveman talk and monsters fighting.
Okay. So you want like a prequel?
I want like prehistoric prequel.
Ooh, I'm down for prehistoric. Okay. So like Hollow Earth, like who built the temples?
Ooh, yeah. Give me more Hollow Earth without the stupid spaceships.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like who built the throne room?
Okay. So Jude wants a prequel for the Kong universe.
Yeah.
You want to see Kong's parents?
Yeah. I want to see more Kongs.
Okay. Gotcha. Kadish, what about you? What do you want to see moving forward and what don't you want to see anymore?
I'm very invested in this Kong cop concept. Like I really want to see Kong, like, fighting the mafia, taking them down. I think that'd be a great movie.
Ooh, Samurai Kong.
Gosh, you guys are ridiculous.
I honestly, like, I don't really know where they go from here. Like, I imagine that they're going to be introducing more of the Toho monsters going forward. And the next movie is probably going to be more focused on Godzilla than this one was, because this really was a Kong movie. But I don't know, like, as long as they just have big monsters fighting in cities, I'm going to be happy.
Okay. Matt,
Yeah.
what about you? What do you want to see?
I want to see Destroya.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Show. What does that look like? Look,
He just looks like a giant badass
dragon, huh?
dragon with wings. Yeah, he's a old school
So,
Kong.
is there anything in this movie that you don't want them to carry forward?
No, I want to see this all go forward. I want movies in Hollow Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that some adventures down there
Okay.
while they're rebuilding the cities up on top.
I'd be down for some crossovers too,
Yeah.
like King Kong or Godzilla versus like Sharknado or Lava
God.
No. For me, I think I know I feel like the studios, if they look at the criticisms of like the first movie, too much humans, give me more monsters. The second movie, too much monsters, give me more humans. It's like they're always battling to find that middle ground where they can, ride the line of like the perfect amount of human stories to get us involved and the perfect amount of fighting in the monsters. So for me, I think they need to tone down the technology a little bit, which might be weird, but I mean the cities, the Earth is being destroyed every freaking week by giant monsters. So let's tone down the technology a little bit. And
Well, what's been destroyed? There's really only 3 cities, right?
Hong Kong,
Florida,
Florida, Boston, Las
San
Vegas,
what if
Well, Las
like
Vegas.
what if we
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
He didn't kill Florida. He just killed that one little industrial park.
what if
Yeah.
we amp up the technology and then we go and find a planet of Kongs?
Mm.
Or the planet that Ghidorah came from.
Ooh. Oh. Isn't there like a Mechagodzilla in the old movies?
I don't know.
I feel like
don't
there
know.
is. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
Let's have the adventures of Deaf Girl. I don't know.
No, just the human aspect of this movie was over the top and ridiculous, and it made no sense. Like I do think they need to sharpen up on their storytelling on the human aspect. Like make that make sense, because we're all like this movie made 0 sense whatsoever. That
It
needs
was
to
a very
get
dumb movie.
very dumb
Very
movie.
dumb.
That
But
needs
fun. Dumb but fun.
yes, that needs to come
You
back
know,
to reality a
I
little
feel
bit.
like if I go back and I watch like these really bad Japanese Godzilla movies,
Mhm.
I have a hard time watching them. They're cool and fun for what they are. But I want to like take what the kind of concept I did with those and kind of convert them into this new kind of American modern style of Godzilla, make them a little more serious, still make them fun, but continue on with some of the weirdness
Mm-hmm.
that going forward. I don't know if there's any more movies in this.
Well, I-
So
Godzilla's got so much
I
potential.
know, but usually, it's like by now it's like get ready for Godzilla 5.
I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Brothers for HBO Max creates like a Monarch series where it's like we get to see
God.
like the Monarch agency tracking and learning about these titans.
Like
and
Agents
stuff.
of
I would
Shield
be
style.
into
Yeah.
that.
That would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. I dig it. All right, that's it for our review of Godzilla
We're
versus
gonna give it a
Kong.
rating.
For me, 2 out of 5 for movie wise, 5 out of 5 for entertainment wise. Vader.
Um,
Oh!
I'm sorry, I've been wanting to do that all day.
Jude's such a goofball. What do you give it for the rating there, Vader?
I'm gonna just kind of stick right where I have been all day with the other movies. I'm gonna give it like a 3.5.
Okay.
I enjoyed this movie. I have a lot of fun with it. I'll probably watch this movie dozens of more times. I'm glad I have a new franchise that I can be a nerd about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I have a new franchise I can go out and buy posters and toys and comic books and stuff. Hopefully someday for.
The freaking posters for these movies
Yo,
are
they're
dope.
awesome.
They're so cool.
It's having this out there. It's just refreshing to me because so many of our IPs are just garbage now, and having this at least to still be kind of a old school nerd.
An escape.
An escape from. Yeah, exactly. It's nice. It's a nice thing to have. And yeah, they're cheesy and they're dumb and the scripts are bad and the plots are stupid as hell. But God damn it, I love these movies.
Yeah,
I love everything about them, and they are what they are. And if you don't like it, deal with it, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Jude, what about you? What do you give this for a rating?
I think I'm with Vader. I'm gonna stay right across the board. Definitely liked it more than Skull Island. But I still liked the first one the best. There was the least amount that annoyed me.
Okay.
But God, the battle between Godzilla and King Kong, that first one in the ocean, that was so cool. I loved it.
Nice.
So like, yeah, I agree with Vader. Like, I don't need the humans. They're very annoying, but God damn it, this is a fun movie. So yeah, like 3.5 Middle Earths.
Okay. Kadish, how about you?
All right. So the writer-filmmaker Kadish gives this movie 2 stars out of 5. But when I came home, Jude asked me, like, how was the movie? And I told her, this was me the entire time.
Big old smile on his face.
That's exactly what he did.
Huge smile. So like Matt Kadish, the film goer, gives this movie 4 stars out of 5 because I had so much fun watching it. I didn't care how stupid it was. Like I could pick apart all the problems with the script and stuff like that. But for the most part, like this movie gave me exactly what I wanted. And it was awesome monster fights.
Yep.
And so like we've said, every legendary monster movie so far has delivered on the awesome monster end. And so I'm willing to forgive the bad stories because it delivers on that. And that's really what I want to see from these movies. And this is probably my favorite of all 4 of them.
Wow.
Just because like I love the rivalry between Kong and Godzilla, and I love that team up at the end, and I love Mechagodzilla. Like I was so excited to finally see Mechagodzilla on the big screen.
Bro.
Like 4 times.
Alex.
Mechagodzilla. I know.
So like, yeah, so I have to give this 2 ratings from like a technical writing standpoint, stuff like that, 2 stars. From a pure enjoyment standpoint, 4 stars. I really liked this movie.
And also, like, you and Alex went to go see this together almost a week before I saw it. And I wouldn't let you tell me anything when you came home, and you were so excited to like talk about it. And I was just like, nope,
Save
nope, because I didn't want you to ruin anything for me.
That's a badass
So
shot.
that's all I would let him tell me was
Nice.
that his face was like this the whole time.
That's awesome. All right, guys, that's our review for Godzilla versus Kong. Thanks for joining us as always. Like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. You know what to do. Comment below. What did you think of this movie? Did the terrible story take you out of it, or were you just there to unplug and watch some monsters fight? Let us know in the comments. Vader, where can they find you on the social media platforms?
You can find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And every Saturday morning here at saltynerdvideo.com for our weekly news live stream, which we call the Home Gang.
That's such a great name. Jude, where can they find you?
You can find me at I am Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and sometimes on the Home Gang.
Right on. Matthew Kadish?
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter, and kadishbooks.com over on Amazon.
And I am the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on Twitter at salty_nerd. And as always, stay salty, my friends.